Leading a club can be demanding. It's vital to stay energized and motivated. We'll share tips on self-care, time management, and finding that balance to keep our enthusiasm alive. Think of tonight's training as our collective software update. By the end of this session, we'll be more equipped, more knowledgeable, more motivated to lead our club to success. Distinguished. So let's embrace this update with open arms. Let's dive into the training with the same excitement we should have when we see that notification on our phone, knowing that great thing lies ahead. Back to you. Thank you so very, very much for coming on tonight. I am excited to introduce our educational leader tonight who will be leading our session on tonight. I am excited to see all of you here on tonight. I would like to introduce to some and present to others our Program Quality Director, Valerie Smith. Valerie Smith, DTM, is a active member of South Loop Big Free Toastmasters Club, and she's been a member since December the 1st, 2011. With a multi-faith background as a visionary leader, speaker, podcaster, trainer, serving as a 2024-2025 District Program Quality Director of District 103. Valerie is a highly accomplished member with the Toastmasters community. Valerie has held numerous club offers, district leadership position. In 2018, she developed a mentoring development program as part of her high-performance leadership track, aiming to support club members and becoming effective speakers and leaders throughout their Toastmasters journey. Her leadership as the president 2018 to 2019 led her club to achieve president distinguished status for the first time. A passionate advocate for training and leadership development, Valerie enjoys empowering club officers, leaders to guide their club with effectiveness. She believes that leadership in the 21st century is crucial and critical, requiring strategy, emotional intelligence, and influence. Skills that lead to engaging club, members' retention, effective leadership. Her dedication to personal growth serve as the inspiration, ongoing, encouraging others to adopt a similar mindset and strive for excellence. Our leader today is going to share with us amazing rise up leader, how to become an intentional leader in the 21st century. Rise Up Leader is a comprehensive training initiative that empowers leaders to effectively navigate the challenges of change by applying these three valuable elements: visionary thinking, emotional intelligence, and integrity leadership, which leaders will be equipped with a new mindset to foster positivity in their club culture, establish impactful club engagement initiatives that bring lasting value and a sense of belonging within your Toastmasters Club. Let us welcome to the virtual stage Valerie Smith, DTM, Program Quality Director.
Hey, thank you, Dr. AlyceAnn Crump. And I want to welcome everyone who are here because you're going to learn a lot. Because in today's society, our leaders are dwindling and we need to rise up as leaders. We need to show the value. We need to show our integrity. We also have to show that we are visionaries so we can continue this great organization, which is called Toastmasters International. So I'm going to share with you my screen that I'm going to be presenting from, a presentation That's going to be, just like Dr. AlyceAnn had mentioned, there's going to be 3 principles. But before I start with those principles, the first thing we need to understand is leadership, what it is. Because we're all leaders, but do we really understand leadership and how to become intentional? So I am going to start with the definition of what is leadership. And leadership, if you look at this tree, it didn't just start with a bunch of leaves and branches. It started with a seed and then it grew. And it's the same thing with leadership. It's not about your title. It's all about starting somewhere with action. And so leadership is much like the branches of tree of knowledge, from reflection, growth, and truth. So you have to be true to yourself on what kind of leader are you? Are you a leader about your title, or are you a leader of growth? Are you reflecting on yourself as a leader? What have you brought to the table that when you had planted the first seed and as a club member, and you grew and you grew before you became that club officer? What can you bring to others where they can grow too? So leadership, again, it's not about title. It's all about cultivating what you have sown, what you have grown, and what have you reflected that you can give away to others to see them grow as leaders. And that is the true definition of a leader. But now, as leaders are evolving, now there are changes that are coming now, not in the future. We know the future is the future, but the future is now. And when those changes are coming, it's going to change you in a different direction. It's going to make you feel uneasy. And you're trying to figure out what is the solution to a lot of these problems that we're having and the changes that are causing them. So I'm going to go over a couple here. What are those changes that are happening in Toastmasters clubs? The first one is the new Pathways Education Portal. Now, there's some who can navigate the new Pathways portal, and there's some who could care less. They don't want to touch it. And that's where we have resistance. And that's where we as leaders have to step up, and we have to work with our clubs, our club members. Club members are leaving Toastmasters. You hear that all the time. Why are they leaving Toastmasters? Some of our corporate clubs are losing a lot of their members to loss of employment. And you don't even have to be part of a corporate club. You can be a community club and have members who lost employment. This is happening. It's real. Pressure of personal lives. I'm pretty sure you heard the term, the phrase, when life be lifing. We hear it all the time, but we have to continue going and push through the changes. And then club members not feeling a sense of belonging. When you look at all 5 of these issues, this is just some, but these are the things that are being talked about all the time, because we talk about burnout, we talk about individuals losing their jobs, and you want to be in a club that you feel like you belong. And the most important thing, like John C. Maxwell, we're all leaders, but everything rises and falls on leadership. Even if you don't want to take responsibility, it rises and falls on leadership, meaning you have to be accountable of your actions. You have to be accountable of how are you going to solve problems effectively, and then you have to own it, and that's the most important. So the next thing that I want to go over is 3 leadership principles that you're going to learn today, how to become an intentional leader. And those principles are the following. It's going to be visionary thinking, emotional intelligence, and also leadership integrity. And you hear a lot about this through Toastmasters, through their magazines, through their Toastmasters promise about integrity, respect. And all this need to be showing up in your club. As a club officer, you need to be thinking on these levels here. So if you want to take a picture of it. It's very important that you have that information, and you're still going to get this this presentation, but if you want to take a picture, you can. And we'll go on to the next slide, and I'm going to talk about what is intentional leadership. So intentional leadership is aligned with purpose and values, embracing growth and change. And the most important thing is that as an intentional leader, you want to be present. You want to be present in your club. You want to be present with yourself. Are you growing? Are you setting the example? Are you bringing value to your club members? These are the things that you need to think about, especially if you're the president of your club. You have to lead with vision in order for everyone to be on board. And that's what it means to be intentional. Showing up, showing that purpose and value, and then you have to ask yourself, is the club growing? Are the club members growing? Are we embracing change? These are the things that you as a leader have to take responsibility on. And that is what it means to be intentional. So I really want to talk on the first thing, and that is a quote by Helen Keller on visionary thinking. She said, the only thing worse than being blind is having sight, but no vision. How many of you know, or maybe you work for someone, and you just didn't know where you were going? The manager or the leader did not set a vision or expectation. You can raise your hand, you can use emoji, you can even type yes or no in the chat. Because this happens all the time throughout the world. That's the reason why people are not engaged. Because we're following leaders that have no vision. And they're not even thinking about vision. Because why? It's the title, it's the power. And if this is happening in a Toastmasters club level, is a problem. And so every club officer must be a visionary. And why? Because you want to strive for excellence. You want to foster a culture of excellence. It's the most important thing. Now, I know you probably wonder, why is fostering a culture of excellence at the bottom? Because I got more to share with you. Because in order to get to excellence, you have to have a club success plan. How many club officers, presidents, I want the presidents to answer this, have put together a club success plan? You can use your emoji, you can use it in chat, say yes or no. If you have not put a success plan together for your club, then there's no vision. There's no vision for your club officers. They don't know where they're going. If the club is all over the place, you're not meeting your goals or your DCP, which is Distinguished Club Program, because it's an extension. They both work together. But what is a club success plan? A club success plan tells you who's on the club officers team, what their role is, what their responsibilities are, what the VPE, which is the Vice President of Education, do they know who's going to complete their levels and pathways? If they don't, if it's not on that success plan, you're not going to achieve distinguished status. In order to succeed to excellence, you have to know the vision. You got to know the plan in place for your club in order to be consistent. If you want to be president's distinguished, You have to know the plan and you got to work the plan. It's not going to work by itself. It takes a collaborative effort from the club officers to the club members. You all are working together to make sure this club success plan is working. The next thing is adapting to new challenges in your club. Many clubs are dealing with challenges. Do you quit or do you stay for the long haul? What strategies are you putting together to keep your club afloat with change, to exceed to excellence? Trust me, when I heard the late Quincy Jones state that he was writing a composition for The Wiz, and then when he was done, he was working with Michael Jackson on the Thriller album. He said that he put the album together with Michael Jackson in 8 weeks. In 8 weeks, the album was done and was put out there. Because why? They had visionary thinking. That Thriller album had gained so much, oh my God, so many Grammys. It sold millions of copies. But with a vision to have that album done in 8 weeks, that is true, extraordinary, visionary thinking. And you can do the same thing with your club. When you see challenges, attack it. Have a plan, have a strategy, collaborate with your members, collaborate with your club officers. Don't just be one way of thinking, saying, I'm just a VPE. I'm not a VPPR. You can be a VPPR if you just put action behind it. Because if something happens to your VPPR, who's going to do it? You are. Because why? You're a visionary thinker. The next thing is engaging members effectively. That is most important. Don't just be a club officer running a meeting. Now you have to engage your members. They need to understand what the actual roles are in a meeting. They need to know that they can be also a club officer. They need to know also they could be a leader outside their club. They could be an area director. And we are looking for esteemed leaders. We want to look for club members who want to step out of their club and be that leader. And if you're thinking about being an area director, just contact the trio. We're here. We want to grow you as a leader. We also, you can go from area director to division director. The thing is, you really want to engage your members effectively in order to exceed excellence. The next principle that I'm going to talk to you about is what Napoleon always talked about around emotional intelligence. He's always about the mind. He said, think twice before you speak, because your words and influence will plant the seed of either success or failure in the mind of another. Because your words speak a lot of action, because it can either hurt a person or it can grow a person. So let's talk about emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is understanding, managing emotions, crucial for leading change. The trio and I, we were all down in Dallas, Texas, and we had to read, we had to do pre-work. And the one thing I learned was a quote by Stephen Covey. He said, we need to listen to understand. Because sometimes we listen, but we want to defend after a person speaks. So it's really important that when we are leaders, when we are talking to club members or district leaders, we want to listen to one another to be understood so we can grow, so we can learn, because listening is all about learning. It's not all the time that we have to respond. Of course, you're going to respond, but did you understand what that individual said in front of you? So let's go to the next thing, and let's talk about emotional intelligence. As I had spoken earlier, I talked about burnout and burnout is real. Sometimes we don't talk about it in a club level, but we have to understand, how can we use emotional intelligence to balance our emotions to prevent burnout? And there's a couple things that you can do. At a club level, as a club officer, it's called, you want to create those committees. Those are your future leaders of your club. Don't try to do everything. And I'm pretty sure you know someone who loves to do everything. And we cannot be that leader. We have to know how to balance our personal life, our work life, and our Toastmasters life. We got 3 parts in our lives, but we have to learn how to balance all 3. Because if you don't, if you're running on this autopilot, guess what? You're going to burn out. And then you're going to leave Toastmasters. You're going to blame Toastmasters for your burnout, but you can't blame this organization, because this organization is where leaders are made, not burnt out. Because you're responsible for your time. You have an important asset, and that is time management. So it's very important that you understand that what is important right now, what is priority. And that's how you're going to prevent burnout, through emotional balance, through time. You want to lead with your heart. Many leaders lead with their head, which is their ego. My title, I'm this, I'm that. A lot of people are tired of hearing that. They want to know, what is your why? Why are you a leader? Why are you in this role? Why are you part of this club? That's what it means to lead with your heart. You have to have your why. You have to align yourself with your club and the organization Toastmasters. Because Toastmasters, according to Ralph Smith, he said that Toastmasters is supposed to be a sociable, fun club. And if you're not having fun, you're definitely not leading with your heart. Because the heart loves to have fun. The heart loves to speak. How many Toastmasters on the Zoom loves to speak? We love to talk. We love to be on the phone for not just minutes, for a whole hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. How many of y'all been with some Toastmasters on the phone or Zoom, and y'all thought y'all was going to have a 30-minute meeting? Didn't happen, did it? Because why? We love to speak. Build relationships. That's the great thing about Toastmasters. If you're not building relationships in Toastmasters, then you really need to ask yourself why. Because we got some great individuals here in Toastmasters that can help you grow and become effective speakers, effective leaders, and you can grow to international leadership. And that is the most important thing. But you have to be ready to act. You got to be ready to protect your time, to prevent burnout, so you can grow with Toastmasters. You want to lead with your heart, and you want to build those relationships. So the next thing I want to talk about is be optimistic, be inspirational. If you feel like your club is not showing that, you be the first one to start it. Be the person of influence. Let people feel that sense of belonging and being understood. That's one thing, that every club member has a goal, but they also want to be understood. And if they're not being understood, what happens? They leave. They don't come back. Now, it's a possibility they didn't leave Toastmasters. They went to another club. Because why? They're meeting their expectations. And that club is embracing them with their heart. And they're building a relationship with this individual, and they're inspirational as well. The next quote I want to go over is Peter F. Drucker. he's the late Peter Drucker. I wish he was still here on earth. But he said, if you want something new, you have to stop doing something old. In Toastmasters, newness is going to come, but many people are not going to like that change. But when we do something new, it's called innovation. And that's what we have to do in our clubs. If something is not working, change it. This is what Peter Drucker always believed. If the future doesn't look right, create it. And there's nothing wrong with change. And you're going to have some resistors, trust me. But overall, it leads with leadership integrity. And what is that? That's upholding honesty, transparency, and accountability while guiding the club with respect, ethical behavior, and a commitment to Toastmasters core values. And that's what we have to have. And if you're not seeing that, that's a problem. Because in Toastmasters, they give you the framework. They give you the mission statement, the club mission statement, the district mission statement, and the international overall statement with values and a Toastmasters promise. And if you as a leader, you're not understanding what that mission is, and you're asking yourself what's going on with the club, why there's no engagement, because you are the face of the club. You have to lead with vision. You have to let your club know what is Toastmasters, why do they exist. Even talk about Dr. Ralph Smetley, because there are some new members who don't know who Ralph Smetley is. Be transparent and be accountable to sharing this with your club. And that's where you're going to see engagement rise up. Because why? They feel that sense of belonging to our international community, which is Toastmasters. But they need to know what are they getting with their membership. But they need to know the framework. They need to know the mission. They need to know who Dr. Smetley is. And they want to know how can they grow with this great organization. And that's how you're going to keep your members, because why? You're talking with them. You're being honest with them. So the next thing I want to share with you are the principles of leadership integrity. The first one is lead by example. When you are a leader, especially at the president level, you want to lead by example. You want to be a visionary. You want to set the tone in your club. You want to set that culture about who we are as a club. And that's the only way people are going to stay with your club, because why? You setting the bar. You're setting core values about who you are as a club. And people are going to ask you, am I growing here? No. If they are, they're going to say, yes, come join my club. I'm growing. I got a mentor. I'm doing these speeches. So you have to set the example. The next thing is strengths, the foundation of a club culture. People should be able to distinguish your club from another club. Today, it's hard to even distinguish now what a club represents, because I believe we talk about more about our problems in our clubs than we're talking about what we're doing to build our club. So you have to build a foundation, a club culture. What are you known for? Are you known for mentorship? Are you known for events? Are you known for bringing people in and having that one-on-one talk with your members? Or are you just a fun club, period? So you really want to distinguish and say, what are the strengths of our club? And how can we present this either on social media, on your club website, through emails to your members? You got to put the word out about who you are as a club, especially club officers. Work with your vice president of education and say, hey, we really want to put out some more content about this club, when we are meeting, when we're having our new member orientation, and who are those new members? Recognize them. It's very important. The next thing is follow through on commitments to members. And that's the most important. If you say you're going to do something, do it. Show it. Be passionate about it. When you heard Dr. AlyceAnn come on and she had that energy, she was ready because she wants you to grow as club officers. She's so happy to see your faces during the evening of club officers makeup training. Because why? We have a commitment to you as district leaders. We need to make sure our club officers are growing in the second round, because they have this next 6 months to really hone in with their club to make sure they end the year strong. And that is full commitment from you as club officers. And then own up to mistakes and show up and show that you're willing to improve. There is no perfect leader. We all make mistakes. And that's the great thing about Toastmasters, is that in Toastmasters, there is no failure. It's all about doing. It's all about growing. And never look at yourself as a failure when you make a mistake. Because guess what? Every great leader in the books had made a mistake, but they became a better leader with integrity. And then respect. Respect others. You respect others like you want to be respected. Because you know some leader who disrespect, but as soon as you disrespect them, they say, you better respect me. You say, what? No, wait a minute. And I'm pretty sure some of you know those leaders, that they can disrespect you, but they commanding respect. No, respect is earned in every leadership level. In every leadership, from the president all the way down to the frontline manager. And that's very important, that you treat people how you want to be treated. You don't do the opposite. And that's why respect is one of the core values in Toastmasters. And if you want to keep members in your club and you see disrespect happening, it's time to come back to the values. And that is those principles of leadership and integrity. Because everything rises and falls on leadership, just like John C. Maxwell said. So this is your call to action. I want you to embrace the idea that intentional leadership is a journey of personal growth. It's not instant, it's consistency. You have to be learning all the time. You need to be reading, you need to be applying what you read, and you need to share what you read. And you need to be adaptable when change is happening. It's hard to be a leader when you don't have the spirit of change, because you want to do what was done 5 years ago, but it's not working. If you're still doing what happened 5 years ago and you're still losing members, it's time to change. Leaders must be willing to grow and change by unlearning old paradigms and welcoming the new. Because the world is changing, Toastmasters is changing, but you got to ask yourself, as a leader, is the club changing? And what can you do to bring in the new, to bring in new members and grow them into new leaders? And then lastly, embrace fresh perspectives. You're not the only one with a perspective. Your members have perspectives. You have outside people as guests coming with perspectives, because those perspectives, you can navigate the change of a modern world and a new future. I know you say you see work, but the future of your club through visionary thinking, emotional intelligence, and leadership integrity. Please be the leader of intention. Be the leader that's going to grow your club to excellence. Back to you, Dr. AlyceAnn Crump.
Thank you. Thank you so very, very much. Can you all still hear me? All right. What an amazing presentation on this evening. I'm so excited.
And then this is an opportunity to Dr. AlyceAnn. I know we have 10 minutes left. That if anyone have any questions, I'm willing to ask any questions.
Time for questions.
Are you waiting for questions?
Yeah.
Yes, this is the Q&A session.
Okay, that's good. I have a question. I'm Ethel Scoggin from Grand Center 5000 Toastmasters Club, and I am really just coming back. I miss it, and I go, okay, I need to get back, and do what I need to do. So I'm back, and I feel really like fresh, but that's okay. The members will help me through this. Now, when you have, you have problems in each club. I don't want to call them problems, but when you have members who aren't friendly to new members, that really make them leave. And I saw that, and I was really upset about that, because what is Toastmasters all about? If you're going to bring new people in, you need to treat them like you say, treat them like you would want to be treated. So how would you handle that, Valerie?
Yes. So if I'm looking at it at a district leader perspective, and someone had told me that there's several clubs that are showing disrespect, I think I would want to visit that club and ask them, why are they treating each other like that? Because what I would tell them is that, first, do you know who Toastmasters is? Because obviously they don't. And do you know the founders of Toastmasters? And the one founder, which is Dr. Ralph Smedley, and I would, preach what it is. Because one, Toastmasters is all about socially fun. And I'll ask them, what are you doing for fun within your club? Because if there's no fun, then everybody's irritated. No one has nothing to look forward to. I can tell that when a club is negatively affected, that means there's no events happening. There's no collaboration. There's just people just showing up, hoping to give a speech, and then everybody's going back and forth, and they have no why. And that's what I mean by vision. See, vision starts by the president. And then the president explains to the club, because not only did that success plan gets explained to the club officers first and they sign off on it, but you got to also bring that vision to the club members. And if the club members don't know the vision of the club, that's why it's all over the place. No one's talking about the mission, the club mission. No one's talking about the values of Toastmasters. And they're not even talking about the Toastmasters promise. And that's how you know there's no vision in that club, because it doesn't represent Toastmasters. And that will be something that I will sit down with the club president first. Yeah. And ask them, what is the vision? Mm-hmm. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, that was great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else have a question? If you had an aha moment, or maybe you have some pain points you want to know about, and you can raise your hand.
I have another question. You can tell I'm a Toastmaster. I don't mind asking questions. I can see that you are DTM, and did you feel like it was a struggle to get to that level, DTM?
So with the DTM, I'm so passionate about Toastmasters. I've been in Toastmasters since 2011, December 1st, 2011. I still feel the same when I first started. Because why? I knew my why. I didn't find that it was hard. I felt like I was procrastinating. I was telling people I was getting my DTM, and I felt embarrassed because I told a couple people and I missed the bar. So when I saw that, and this is during the legacy program, I went on ahead and built my team. I know Julian was on my team, Don Williams and Benitha. And one thing that Don Williams told me, because I wanted to do it fast, you know, I had an event and I wanted to make that my DTM. And he said, so you just want something quick and easy. That's how some Toastmasters do. And he said, don't you want to do something that's going to show results that you can measure? I'm like, wow. Now that's a true DTM. Not somebody who just want to have an event they did 5 months ago and just put it on paper and then turn it in and said, I did it. So getting your Distinguished Toastmasters award comes with work. And I can say that between 2011, 2019, I did put in the work. I was an area director. I took on all these officer roles, not once, but twice. And I led my club to President's Distinguished for the first time, set up a mentoring program for my club, and it's still going strong. So it takes consistency to get to that level and no shortcuts. A lot of people want to do shortcuts and say, I got my second DTM, I got my third. Did you do the one?
Yeah,
So,
right.
yeah, so that's how you get to that Distinguished Toastmaster, but it is a little bit different. And I do want to let you know that tomorrow, on our website, we have the Distinguished Toastmaster, Dushan Mosley, who's going to be teaching on how to get to that destination of your DTM. So if you have not registered, it starts at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on Zoom. So if you're looking to get the highest award as a Distinguished Toastmaster, I say, please sign up, go to d103toastmasters.org/calendar and sign up. And thank you for asking that question, Ethel. I was able to slide that right on in. Because we all need to achieve excellence in our leadership. Okay. Anyone else? Beata?
Yes, hi. Oh, I don't think it's working, my camera. Oh, here we go. Okay, hi.
Hey.
Thank you for taking my question. First of all, very new to Toastmasters. We are part of AbbVie, and we are a brand new club that just started a few months ago. And I'm first time president, first time club, everything, right? So, and we're only virtual, but we are having a great time and success. We have a lot of members that participate, so we're lucky in that sense. I would love to learn, and maybe you can share either you talked about a plan. So is there a toolkit, or maybe there is a link that you can share that has an example of what a good plan for the club would look like?
Yes, I could share that after I'm done and everybody's going into their breakout room. And then when everybody comes back, we definitely want everybody to come back because we do have some final announcements. And then I can share that link. And it's
Wonderful.
a full plan that you can put together. And then that plan is always put together in August. I don't know when your club formed, but there is a success plan that you have to give to your area director, and
Okay.
then they submit that to Toastmasters.
Yeah, I believe the date for our inception was either the end of August or September. I have to double check because we were going back. So
Okay.
it's just been we're very new.
Okay, great. Yeah, I can add that in the chat as well as when I do share the PowerPoint.
Perfect.
I'll also add that in there as well.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Valerie.
Oh, you're welcome. Great question. All right, and probably time for one more, either one or two, before we go into breakout rooms. All right, Martha.
Thank you, Valerie. You did such a great job with your presentation. And I want to thank you and commend you for carrying and really supporting District 103. There are always hard times, guys. Sometimes we can have some of the best intentions in the world. It doesn't always pan out the right way. So I want to share with you all, becoming a DTM 3 times, it was a lot of work. You had to work closely with people that some you liked so much, some you cared so much for, you thought they were your brother or your sister. I want to share that it's important that we help others along the way. It's really not all about us getting DTMs. It's about who we help along the way and the things that we can do as leaders. I had to resign recently from about 10 different areas because of my health. And I'm going to tell you, it hurts a lot. But at the same time, you come first, and everything that you do comes first. Always remember that. You all are on here for the first time, some of you, and you have a lot of great things that you're sharing. I want to share with you, it's never over. The fat lady never sings. And just remember to always hang in there. Thank you, Valerie, for your leadership.
All right.
Thank you, Dr. AlyceAnn Williams, for your leadership. God bless all of you.
Hey, thank you for sharing that wisdom, Martha, because it's true. You know, it's a lot of work, but you know what? It is very rewarding. It's very rewarding, especially when you get that DTM plaque and you get recognized at your conference. It's amazing because you know the work that you put behind it.
Thank you all for attending our meeting on today. Your software has been updated. You can move smoother and faster. Now we have been motivated, encouraged to move on. Let's make this next 6 months a great 6 months and become distinguished. Congratulations, everyone. Thank you and good night.